Hello everyone, this is the Limelight team here. Thank you guys all for watching. Don't go anywhere. We are going to answer your questions very soon. We have just prepared a short message from the Limelight team for you guys. So we are going to play it now. It doesn't gonna take long, and then we're gonna be back live again with the answers for your questions. And then we're gonna stream the artwork again at the end. Thanks. We were actually always very proud of creating artworks that look a lot better in reality than on a video afterwards. So we were thinking of it, but going for a 100% virtual solution was not really an option to do. So at the end, we decided to just create a 3D printed model of the actual building of the opera house in Lille in 1/4 the size, and projected our artwork onto it. And now we are streaming it to the world to enjoy and get a different experience that we ever created.
You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, you need to build a new model, which makes the old one obsolete.
If we can't make it big, we will do Micromonumental mapping.
We believe in the transformative power of art, and our souls need it now more than ever.
We created a 3D printed model of the actual building in France to make this projection mapping artwork accessible to everyone online. We reinvented a medium Limelight has been using for years to create something unique that we can share with you at home.
Creation is constant magic, how chaos becomes order and establishes a new path for life. However, besides birth, there is also decay, where fragments and particles of life become something else or disappear from the world. These parallel life cycles follow one another perpetually, day by day, as the epiphany of existence.
Creation always starts from some kind of destruction. So it was at the beginning of this project and especially in the end. For this reason, now more than ever, being creative in finding new ways to unite becomes fundamental to rebuild our future altogether. That's why here we are.
Where the shadow is deepest, the light is brightest.
Every act of creation is first an act of destruction. The essence of creation is building, breaking down, and reworking to develop something original.
So we are here to tell you, this will all be gone and something new will start from it. Be patient and create something for a better life.
Stay home, stay safe, stay resilient.
Our desktop audio.
We have done a lot of
Guys.
Okay, there is one on Facebook. Oh, on YouTube, sorry. So what software did you use for animation? That was from Miruna.
Guys, mute your computers on the live video.
Okay, just some technical problems. We need to mute all live streams that we are watching.
From Miruna.
Guys, mute your computers on the live video.
Okay.
Guys,
Who are responsible?
I'm still rendering, by the way.
Come on, guys.
Guys, mute your.
I'm still rendering, by the way.
I think it was me. It's really bad, but it looks it was. So whoever is still here, we had a question that was which softwares were used?
Yeah, for the animation, that was one from Mirena, I guess.
I think I have to say again that we are a lot more experienced in creating artworks than creating live streams. So I apologize for that part. Csaba, would you like to answer the question for the softwares?
Oh my God, we used like Cinema 4D and Houdini at the same time, and we work with a 3D model, and then we do the composite in Resolve. After, we just do the projection with Resolume because it's simple, like one projector, so it's easy to do in Resolume. I think that's answer it, but if you want to ask more, just feel free.
Okay. So there is another one from Rami who asked that C4D for animation. That was his question. I'm quite short one.
Yes, and also Houdini as well.
And Jeremy asked, I'm not sure what his means, but there is not mapping. If you want to answer this.
Maybe it's not a traditional map, it's projection mapping, so you don't see cities and countries.
Wow. Patrick asked, what is the next work, what we are doing?
Work we are doing is fighting against coronavirus, I think.
Thomas asked that, do you make small model for every project, or is this going to be a new way?
This is the new way. This is the first time actually we make a small model, because we usually do site visits and we see the model in real size, which is important. After we work on a 3D model, and we usually do a digital reprojection of our projection mapping to simulate the real life. So yes, because
in the comments, sorry that they don't hear Chaba. I don't know.
Oh no!
But I hear you, so I don't know what the problem is. But
maybe my microphone. I try to hold it closer. So I can start again. So this is the first time we use a 3D printed model, because we usually do sightseeing to see the original building in large scale, and after we simulate the projection in Cinema 4D to the building to see any artifacts. So we done this way because this is cheapest, because this model is kind of expensive to make. But in this case, we have no other options. So we make it like a tiny model. And we did this. Hope all of you heard me. But I can answer later as well in the comments.
They're writing that you don't, but I don't know if what I'm reading is real time or not. Maybe we should ask the guys, do you hear me, or you don't only hear Chaba, or you don't hear anything? Could we maybe get some answers in the comments about if it's only Chaba that you didn't hear, or it's also me now that you don't hear?
On YouTube, it says it's okay.
Okay.
Yep,
So maybe
I just got a text that everyone can hear us now.
Yeah. So how do the script to these projects for these animations? Is it a creative process, or is there a planning?
Of course, it's a creative process, and of course, there is also some planning, as always. At Limelight, we usually do the concept part together. So I think also this time it was Esther, it was Chaba, it was Alex, it was Adam, it was me, it was a lot of people involved. And we invited 2 guest artists that were all members of our Limelight Academy Masterclass program. And that's Anna and Tommy. You guys can maybe...
After 2 minutes, you can see. You can see me.
Actually, had a concept first, and gave complete freedom to Anna and Tommy, and also to the other artists contributing to the project. So we just had, let's say, a very broad idea. Within everybody had his own artistic freedom. So whoever is still here, we had a question that was, which software does this answer the question?
Yeah, for
we
I
just
guess
had,
so.
let's say, a
Yeah,
very...
yeah. There is another one from Adam. How long does it take to finish a work like this for you guys? All of you are working on the animation?
What do you think, Esther? Does this answer the question?
I think
I guess
now
so.
everybody
Yeah.
can hear me.
There's another
because
one
I
from
found the
Adam. How long
solution.
does it take to finish a work like this for you guys?
It's
All of you are
depending on the
working
deadline.
on the animation?
So we work as much as the deadline allows us, but we work it on like 1 month. Me, Anna, Tommy, Alex, and Adam, who unfortunately can join us. So we, like 5 of us, did this animation, and we usually do it like we have like separate parts, like separate scenes, and like Adam did the first scene, and then I helped with him with the fractal scene, and then Alex do the smoke simulation. Then Anna did a nice volume dancing. After Tommy did some crazy colorful stuff. And the end, we have like mixed materials to finish all of them. But yes, first we do a script and brainstorming together, and then we start. I think everybody can hear me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Another one from Alin. Did you ever do a mapping that shows the history of the building or its construction using less abstract imagining?
Yes, of course, we have done a lot of different types of mappings, and our philosophy is creating concepts that are always unique, and there is no specific rule. Like sometimes storytelling type of artwork that is also involving the history of the building, and some other times it's more abstract. Every project is totally different. We also have, let's say, different people and different artists working on projects like that. Limelight is more like an open art space in that sense. Of course, there is a core team, but every concept for every project is totally unique and is always depending on the occasion, on the festival, on the building, on a lot of things. So we have done quite a lot of storytelling type of mapping.
Daniel asks, where did you find the inspiration about what will be the best animation style to apply on the building where will be the mapping?
Maybe we could ask Tommy and Anna to tell their part if they want to talk about it. So it's not only us that gives answers about inspirations and stuff. Anna, do you want to start?
Yes, I'm not sure because there is a lag of several minutes here. Is it okay?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just see myself like before 5 minutes. Never mind. What?
You see the Slack, and they will see it maybe after 5 minutes, but it doesn't matter. I mean,
okay.
yes.
So for me, yeah, I was trying not only to do my stuff, but to fit with the other parts of the artwork. So I made several experiments. In the beginning, I had more than one animation, and at the end, I just choose which was best in terms of how it fits with the others, with the whole concept, and with the whole show.
Cool. Tommy?
Yeah, for me here was the same. I tried to find a way that was a kind different of the others, but that was still of destruction and creation. And I always start in my works with some sketches by pen and pencil. And that's why I decided to use this kind of cartoon style. And yeah, we always try to test it on some kind of simulation on the building, so we know it could fit. And that's all.
maybe because there are some people who are asking if we will see this show again, and the answer is yes. At the end of the Q&A, we will stream again the artworks, so just be better on us. How long time? Oh, okay, this question is quite complex. When you're making a 3D model of buildings after obtaining site data, the photogrammetry or laser, are you remodeling the building based on the 3D captures or a more automated process?
Victor, do you want to tell the process of this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the question was if we do it like as an automatic process, but we are doing it by hand. So it's
Landon asks, how do you deal with field of view or angle of view? Do you match your C4D cameras to the projector distance and lens type? It's quite a technical question.
actually it's a lot of people asking this, and it's I think quite important. It's like one of the basic rules of projection that you don't have to put your camera into where the projector is, but you have to put your camera where the audience is going to watch the artwork from, mostly because this is how the 3D effects work very well. So it doesn't really matter that much where the projector is placed. It's more important where the audience is going to be.
On YouTube says that Victor, they cannot hear Victor. So
I don't know. I could hear him, so it's maybe another problem. I don't know what, but I don't see Rita. Only her.
Check temporary or maybe permanently.
Yes, Victor. Maybe your microphone is muted on the OBS Studio.
Yeah, it was. Sorry.
So then you can.
Maybe you can. Can you repeat?
Yeah. If you want, I will bring my USB.
Okay, so we use for digitizing the buildings, we mainly use laser scanning. Laser scanning gives us point cloud, which can be converted automatically to a mesh, but that mesh is not suitable for animation. So every time we do remodeling by hand, so we have all the features separately that we want to animate. So it's not an automatic process yet.
Okay. Maybe we can switch to the Facebook questions.
Yes, we can. So one from Nicholas in Facebook. Did the Lille Video Mapping Festival give you the 3D model of the opera, or did you have to scan it yourself? The model seems small. What is the resolution of the real projection?
Who wants to go for it, guys?
I'll go then. We actually got the model from the Lille Festival, and this model that we actually, it's a printed model, and it's a lot smaller. It's 1:40. It's 1 meter wide, and we used the same resolution for the mock-up that we were supposed to use for the big mapping. So it was just a bit over. It's 1920 by 1400.
Yeah, but we got the virtual model, so we did not get the 3D print, the actual 3D print. We had to 3D print it. We only got the file.
Okay. Sorry, just because I think 3 people are asking about what tool is for the best for laser scanning. Sorry, I interrupted.
Best tool for laser scanning? We don't know because we don't own laser scanners. We usually contract companies that have laser scanners. They're pretty expensive, and it's not worth for us to keep one just for a couple scans a year.
What do you think, guys? What if we just take a short break and project the artwork again, and then maybe continue answering the questions afterwards?
Okay.
Yes.
I agree.
We'll the first part of projecting the artwork and watch it now, and then we'll be back in 5 minutes again after the artwork.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this then.
Cool. Go.
Here. Már is fél órája megy a show.
So, are we? Is this recorded now or not?
Nálam nincs.
Victor, what is happening?
The animation is on.
Yeah, on both of them, animation's good. I just refreshed both.
Okay, sorry guys. I think I clicked on enlarging my muted Facebook video, and when I enlarged it, then it automatically opened the sound as well. But I was looking at the Zoom, and
They say on YouTube they say that they are hearing us.
Yeah, you. Victor, you need to mute.
Hello, we are back.
Hello, guys. Again, sorry for the technical issues. We are a lot better in creating mappings than doing live streams. It's our first one so far, but we are promising that we're gonna play it again after the last question will be answered. So, and then we will mute ourselves completely, so you don't have to enjoy our conversations, but you can enjoy the.
Okay, so there is a question on YouTube. Did you make the sound design and is it made after the graphic or before? By Thomas.
We have Alex hiding. He was too shy to join the Zoom.
Yes, but actually he is doing a part of the animation and do the music as well. So what in this project we do is basically the same in almost all projects, that we have do the concept and the storyboard first, then we make experiments with the animation. Also the sound designer or the musician do some moods or loops for us to have the start of the music and the concept together. So it's like ping pong stuff throughout the project, because we start the music and the animation simultaneously, and it's evolving together till the end. So basically we finish the animation and after Alex do the sound design last. But by then we have a complete music track to work with. So I think this is the best way if the musician can keep up with us.
Okay, there's another one. Are you using Resolume? If yes, are you building one composition or are you working on layers and multiple scenes that are triggered on the...
Okay, so the question is, what kind of projector did we use for the mapping? And another one is, how do we choose the projector for the project?
I don't know if the question was for this one. It wasn't really important. I mean, in terms of being very small, it's like a 1 meter wide mock-up. So it's just a small projector. It's the smallest one we've ever used, I think.
Okay, next one is from Zoltan, and the question is, have we ever tried to project on plants like trees?
Not yet, I think, but it would be nice. I mean, we did a lot of projections in the old times, like 15 years ago or more, when it was still static slide projectors, and then we used like a lot of nature and stuff, but that was not precise mapping. Just recently we were experimenting, but we had a request to project on plants in an environment, but they wanted to have it like a permanent show, and we still couldn't find a way how to solve that the plants are growing. So we should probably map them, I don't know, every week or something. So yeah, Tommy, go ahead. Wait, you are muted. I don't know why.
Yes,
I've done a couple of that, but it's not simple because you need a lot of Lumens,
that does the technical part, so we are not usually involved anymore with the like media servers and all that stuff. We were, of course, when we started, and for a long time we even used in the very old times some software that Victor developed himself, but nowadays it's very rare. Of course, now with this small scale indoor thing, we did that part on our own, but it's not something that we are in generally doing. I just wanted to add because I saw a lot of questions that are actually kind of pointing that. So
okay, next one is from Giovanni, and he's asking if there are online courses for projection mapping.
actually, we do have an academy where there is a masterclass program that is for advanced animators and motion designers, and we do that together with the 2 festivals. Right now, of course, like everything else, it's kind of on hold because we don't know when these festivals are going to happen again. But we are actually working on an online course to which is going to address also people that are not that advanced, but we have no idea when we are going to finish it, but it's in our plans. So most probably, hopefully, we are going to have one soon.
Okay, next one is from Shkambien. And the question is, what is the biggest size you can cover with 35,000 lumens?
Yeah, you can calculate that, but Victor. Yeah, but it also depends on the lighting conditions. I think it's important because if you are in a total dark, pitch dark environment, then you might be okay with 70, 80 lux. And if you are in a city environment, you probably have to go for like 200 lux to have the final artwork really bright. So I think it depends a lot also on how the environment is polluted, or like what is the ambient lighting around.
Okay. Next one is from Giovanni as well. Do you think that light form is good for video mapping?
Of course. We are actually experimenting with it, and we find it really, really cool. So, of course, I mean, it's right now, it's, I think, perfect for type of installations that you have just seen now with like a small indoor or home environment. And basically when you have to use like one projector, it's, I think right now not a tool for like many projectors in large scale environments, but the way things are going now with the virus, probably I think more and more light forms will be used, and I think it's a great tool. We can maybe ask also Scott, because he's experimenting with it as well at home. So he's like the best person to talk about it, how he enjoys light form.
Yeah, so for someone like me who isn't working in things like Cinema 4D, I've had a lot of fun with it because it's given me a lot of creative ability while I'm here at home. I've also found that I've been able to run some of our already created artworks, imported as MP4s, and line those up with some pretty simple, warping and feathering features that are a little bit more user friendly for, again, an average user compared to some of the more professional equipment. So I think it's a really fun tool, and that it's got a lot of capabilities.
Okay, and the last one from the Facebook thread: how long did it take to organize this event?
I love that question. I have to say from my side, but maybe it's, I think, a topic that all of us should talk a little bit about, if you want, guys. But I was more nervous this morning than in any other mapping that we have done with, I don't know, 100 projectors on huge buildings, and we were still testing all these different possibilities of like how to stream it here and there, and softwares didn't work. And I think the idea we already had when it became obvious that the festival is not going to happen. So it was like maybe, I don't know, mid-March, when the pandemic thing was already going on. And I think the festival organizers still didn't officially cancel the festival, but it was just day by day happening. And we already started to talk about it, that we should do it somehow in another way. So in that sense, it took like, I don't know, 3 weeks. What is the day? I lost track of time in this quarantine already. But Zsuzsa, what do you think? It was definitely a lot of work, maybe more than a normal project.
Well, it was a lot of work, but it was also a great experiment for us. And I think we should do more of this in the future. Or not. We actually have a last one. Which software do you suggest for small object and small area mapping?
Definitely Lightform, I guess, but on the other hand, MadMapper is almost has the same features. So I guess if you're starting up and you don't have money for Lightform, then MadMapper is the way to go.
Okay, that's about it from Facebook.
Okay, there are some on YouTube. So Jean-Baptiste asked that the color of the model is white, but the real facade is certainly darker. Are you adjusting the colorimetry of your video for projection?
Yes, of course. In this world, everything is 100% site specific. So I think people probably don't know, but if this virus thing is going to finish finally, then the idea is that next year the whole festival is going to happen. So the artwork is going to be projected in real size next year, but it's definitely not going to be 100% the same artwork. In that sense, we are going to adapt it to the real building, which is not white.
And Antonio asked that, did you use 3D models also in media servers? If yes, which is your media server best choice and why?
Yeah, I have already answered this more or less, because it's not us usually that are using the media servers, but the technical companies that are bringing the projectors. So we are, in that sense, familiar with many of them, because some technical companies use these guys or watch out or modulo P, or depending on the company, depending on the number of projectors and so on. So some of these servers can handle the model, like the modulo P, or these guys, which is the one that used to be called D3, and some of them not. But it's really not our thing anymore. But I don't know what you think, Victor, but in my opinion, or I don't know, Tommy, if you have anything about it with your VJing experience, but I think it's always depending on the number of projectors and the situation. So of course, like, I don't know, D3 is one of the best, or this guy is one, but it's also one of the most expensive ones. It's always depending on the project, on your budget, and what you want to do. There is no one, best, and it's everything is always site specific in that sense as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in my experience, I mostly use Lightroom or Master in design, but we usually have a small budget, so we try to use 2, 3 projects at most, so we can manage it well. So yeah, it's all about you.
One more from Facebook. It's from Ilka. And the question is, take a crystal ball. What kind of new content are we going to see in the future in these live transmissions?
What kind of new content are we going to see in the future in these live transmissions?
Yes.
Well, in my opinion, we have no fucking idea. Like, we are used to create artworks for real large scale buildings in real life for real people. And we were always proud that whatever we are the best at is that our projections look really, really great in reality, a lot better than on any documentation that is, nicely polished afterwards. And now we are going to prepare for a world that is probably not going to allow this for a long time. So we are exploring a lot of different ways, and we are definitely planning to focus a lot on our educational activities. We were always the first ones to share our knowledge, and that's a part that we would like to continue. I think right now nobody knows until when this situation is going to last. So we are all trying to prepare new ways to go and maybe trying to do some immersive experiences in closed spaces, which will probably open up first after the virus is going to get done, and maybe just with limited number of people we can do these kind of experiences. We are creating our light art installations as well, but I don't think that anybody can see that. It's an interesting experiment as well right now. Like, we have no idea how much you guys enjoyed the artwork. I think it's obvious that looking at the projection mapping piece is like 100 times better and cooler in reality than on a monitor, no matter how the monitor is. And I think we just don't know, but it's you're gonna read your comments. I'm also reading saying that, hey, great work and initiative. Thanks for making the world dope. But honestly, I am not at all impressed. What other display techniques could you use to make it even cooler? I mean, AR, VR holograms. So, some people are not at all impressed with this either. For Limelight, it was never about the technology. It was a lot more about the artwork itself. For us, the technology is just a tool. So if for someone, I don't know, for me, VR is not cooler at all because I have to wear those bloody goggles and I become dizzy and I feel totally separated from the external world and from other people. But I think AR could be a way, and projection mapping already is AR in my opinion, because it's transforming an existing space or an object. But I would be happy to hear the other guys' opinion as well. But we are still discussing and brainstorming on what are the ways to go in this very new and very exciting future, which nobody knows how is it going to be.
Okay, we have
anybody else?
I'm sorry. Well, if not, we have a new question from Malik. And the question is there any mapping software which provides Kinect compatibility?
Yeah, I think there are a lot.
I don't know if there is specifically a mapping software that can use the Kinect. A lot of real-time visual softwares can use it, like Touch Designer, VVVV, and there are probably a few more. But these are not specifically projection mapping softwares. Yeah, actually, there is a server version of Notch, and it can be also used for projection mapping, and it can be fed with data from the Kinect.
Okay, that's about it on Facebook for now.
Okay, on the YouTube there are some also from Jean-Baptiste again. What are your artistic inspirations for this work? But I think this was already somehow answered at a certain point from Anna and Tommy. So maybe we can switch to another one. That do you use commercial effects or everything is handcrafted?
No fucking way. Sorry. No.
No. Everything is done by ourselves and by hand, especially now because the music is made in-house as well. So we do every tiny detail by ourselves because that's why we can express our ideas at the best, I think. But for starters, it can help a lot to have this helping guideline to not just model everything from the zero, just download some 3D models and build upon it. So if you a starter, just use download models and use presets from the start, and later you can learn how to make everything, because if you want to do 3D or 2D animation, there are a lot of knowledge you need to compress in your mind. So it's okay, but we try to make it everything by ourselves.
Okay.
Do we have anything more?
Well, Jean-Baptiste said that in my memory there is only one colored moment when red appears behind the raised stones of the opera. Is it hell behind the facade? But actually more than...
I think this is why we need to play the animation again, because there are a lot more colors than that.
Just watch it again, Jean-Baptiste, please.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe we should say goodbye. And of course, if there are other comments, we will take some time afterwards and we will write you answers if there is like anything that wasn't answered. So we go back to our kids and parties and animals and pets and whatever we have in our quarantine. But yeah, it was really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, we are going to have another edited video that we are going to publish. And if you liked it, maybe we will do some other streamings. I don't know. We will give it a try.
With sound, of course.
Mm-hmm.
With a bit more improved
zoomology. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's watch the video again then.
Yeah, I think we should say goodbye. So
thank you for everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
instead.